Welcome to the Matt Cottrell Report. These are the extraordinary stories of ordinary, everyday individuals. Today's guest is a mayoral candidate in San Angelo, Texas. He's a veteran, and he's also a minister, definitely a man of God. He has a vision for San Angelo to bring entertainment and tourism here to help with economic development and make our city a shining city on the map. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend, Mr. Gary Jenkins. Gary, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much, Matt, for
Absolutely.
having me on your program.
Yes, sir. So if you would, right out of the gates, tell San Angelo, look at that camera, address the audience in San Angelo, and tell them why you are the best choice for mayor of this town.
I believe that I'm the best choice for mayor because, first of all, we must honor God in everything that we do. I'm not interested in being a politician. I'm on assignment. After praying and asking the Lord, should I do this or not do this? I felt inspired or led by the Lord to run for mayor. But God gave me instructions, and those instructions are, don't get lifted up with pride. Don't get puffed up. You're on an assignment. It's not about you. It's about honoring Him.
That's right.
So that's why I'm running for mayor. Now, I have 22 years of federal, state, and local experience also under my belt. I feel kind of like Moses. He grew up in the palace of Pharaoh, and he learned the ways of the Egyptians. So he learned how to fight. He learned how to deal with politics. He learned all of the rules of governing. And I feel the same way. I worked at the White House with President Nixon. I was on his staff as one of the first African Americans on his personal protection team at the White House in Camp David.
Wow.
Then I stayed with him for 2 years. Then I went to Homeland Security when it was formed after the 9/11. And I went to work with Homeland Security. I worked with FEMA. We went to every well, not every state, but we went to a lot of states wherever there were natural disasters. And knowing the process of dealing with multiple levels of government, especially during an emergency, that's an asset that a mayoral candidate needs to have.
That's right.
I have that. So maybe I haven't sat on the city council for 8 years, but for 8 years, I've served as a volunteer chaplain with the San Angelo Police Department. I've gotten to know the city real well. I love San Angelo, and I have a wealth of experience that I can bring as the chief elected official of San Angelo. And I want to put that to work for the people here.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said he had a dream. Well, I have a vision, and my vision is that San Angelo can be a tourist and entertainment capital in West Texas.
Very nice.
We can have what we can do with the Concho River, what San Antonio did with the Riverwalk. We can build up that Concho River area. It's a beautiful area.
It is.
But it's underdeveloped.
Right.
And there's certain ordinances that are preventing construction along the river. Well, we need to get rid of those ordinances, and we need to open it up, make San Angelo business friendly, because we need to have a strong economic development program in which we invite businesses. And I don't mean mom and pop shops. I'm talking about Fortune 500 companies.
Wow.
Bring them in, invite them in to the city. But we have to prepare for that.
That's right. So you're already sort of answering it, but I want to ask you, what is your overall vision for the city of San Angelo? Because we know that, through some education myself, I learned that the mayor, one of their primary roles is to to come up with the vision and make sure that the city council is progressing that vision, and so what is your vision for San Angelo? Like, is economic development at the top of the list? I mean,
Absolutely.
What is it? Yeah. Okay.
Because see, the city, Matt, doesn't manufacture anything.
Okay.
So we get our revenue from taxes.
That's right.
And we get our revenue from, the different projects that are on the board.
Right.
From economic development.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to have a stronger economic development program in the city.
Yes.
And the way you do that is make San Angelo business friendly.
Okay.
We're not.
We're not. No, we're not. Yeah.
And I think about the home builders and the San Angelo Association of Realtors and the Builders Association here in San Angelo. Now, affordable housing is one of my pet projects that I want to see get developed.
Okay.
Because if a company's going to come to San Angelo, they want to know several things. One, how's your schools?
That's right.
And two, what's the tax rate?
Yes.
And three, what's the housing market like?
Right.
And you have to have those elements in place so that we become attractive to Fortune 500 companies.
Okay.
I would love to see Elon Musk bring one of his companies into San Angelo.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Well, I did work with President Donald Trump. I owned a limousine company years ago in Connecticut, and I would pick up his high rollers in New York at the New York heliport and drive them to Atlantic City.
Wow.
So I did that as a business that I put together.
Yeah.
And so I'm a business person.
Okay.
So I stopped doing the limousine company, and then I built a Christian television network called the Gospel America Television Network.
I love it.
Based right here in San Angelo.
Tell the audience, the people that don't know, how many people y'all reach.
It's hard to even fathom the fact that a little network here in San Angelo has over 50 million viewers worldwide.
50 million.
50 million. We're not exaggerating. There's 50 million people. We
Praise
have four channels. We have our live channel. We have video on demand. We have a music channel and a movie channel. And all those 4 channels make up the Gospel America Television Network.
Very cool.
All we do is produce and or incorporate Christian programming.
That's great.
And people want wholesome entertainment, family-friendly entertainment.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, that's why we did that.
Yeah.
I was in television for a long time. I worked for ABC News and NBC, and then I did freelance projects, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And so I'm praying one day, and I said, God, what do you want me to do? And the Lord said to me, like he did with Moses, what's that in your hand? I go, well, what are you talking about? He says, you have knowledge of television production. You have knowledge of news production, and you can write and produce. So he said, put together a network that glorifies me.
Yes. I love
that's
that.
how Gospel America started.
Very cool.
Right here in San Angelo.
I love that.
Amen.
That's great. So let me ask you this. I'm going to get into a couple issues that are concerning to many citizens of San Angelo.
Sure.
One of them has not been talked about that much, and I think I know why. It's the fact that it doesn't bring in revenue after it's complete, and that's the fact that our drinking water is just atrocious, and it's affecting people's health.
You want to call that drinking water?
I know. And so why hasn't anything ever been done about that? I mean, why can't we make the investment, even if it's $20 million to fix up the water treatment plant, to renew it, whatever needs to happen, to where the water's at least a little bit safer and people aren't having kidney and liver issues and cancer? I mean, what's the answer to that?
The answer to that is twofold.
Okay.
One, we need to make sure, and I spoke with Senator Charles Perry about this several months ago, and he's working diligently with other members of the Senate, as well as entrepreneurs and scientists, to see what we can do to make sure that West Texas has the water supply that we need for the next 40, 50 years.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. But in addition to that, we need to make sure that we have the right kind of treatment facilities, water treatment facilities. The water plant in San Angelo is old.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. But it's not just the water treatment plant. There's conservation, and then there's reclamation. There's possible desalinization procedures you can use, but that's expensive.
Right.
I don't know how crazy this sounds, but we have a lot of water around Texas on the
Right.
Gulf Coast. Why can't we do with the water what we did with the Alaskan pipeline? Why can't we have a water pipeline, say, coming from Corpus Christi or somewhere around there,
Yeah.
and pump that water upstate to West Texas, so that we have the irrigation needed for our farmers and ranchers, and that we have some good tasting water
Yeah.
that we can actually drink that's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with the water pipeline, there needs to be a new water treatment plant that has the technology of today,
Right.
not 50 years
That's
ago.
right.
The technology of today to treat the water, deal with the triglycerides and to the algae and
Yeah.
and all of the other stuff that's in
Right.
the water that's not good for us.
Yes.
How many times have we been told you got to boil your water?
Right.
Well, we shouldn't have to do
No,
that. Not
yeah.
in this day and age.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
That's right.
But it takes money,
A lot. Yeah.
a lot of money to do that. Now, when water becomes a top priority, you'll see a change.
Okay. Yeah. And what are your thoughts on the bond, SAISD, to fix up schools and facility bond, basically? What, are you a yes or no?
In the beginning, I was opposed to it
Okay.
because I was opposed to any increase in taxes.
Okay.
However, I had to reconsider and think about the children. All right? Our children need to be in safe buildings.
Yes, sir.
Not buildings with asbestos, not buildings that are crumbling and could endanger the safety of our children.
Right.
So we need to invest in our schools. And the only reason that I switched my thinking on that was because one of the elements to attract businesses into the city is to have quality schools.
Okay. That makes sense.
So
yeah.
they all interconnect together.
That makes sense that you would switch then. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I studied it a little
Yeah.
more. And
Cool.
as I gained more information and I probed into this
Yes.
situation, I reluctantly have to agree that we need to pass the school bond.
Okay.
All right. Not because I'm happy about the way it's being done.
Sure.
What we should have done is, I believe, in phases.
Oh, yeah.
So we should do one
right.
school at a time or two schools at
that
a
might
time.
have been good, huh?
And gradually do it in the beginning when we first knew that there were
Right.
problems with our buildings.
Okay.
We should have done it then.
Right.
Not wait till the last minute, because now everything's falling apart.
That's right.
And so we need to, I support it. I love Dr. Chris Moran. I love what he stands for, what he's trying to do. Our schools need the support of our community.
Absolutely. So the next issue I want to ask you about that's kind of on everyone's minds and is coming up is, of course, the bond for the Coliseum. So what are your thoughts on that? Now, before you answer, I just want to mention Trinidad did that video, if you saw it, and he was walking around out at the Coliseum, and there were like 3 cars in the parking lot. And he said, I love coming to the rodeo. I'm glad we have it. I love the carnival. But other than about 17 days out of the year, this place looks like this. It's barren. So it doesn't make sense. So what are your thoughts on it?
Okay. Well, I believe that the Coliseum should be expanded so
Okay.
that we can accommodate bigger venues.
I figured you were going to say that. Bring in
Okay.
concerts,
So-
bigger names. And
So Trinidad was looking at the current situation, but you have to think ahead.
okay.
You have to think marketing. You have to think ahead.
Yes, sir.
And strategy is important.
Yes, it is.
I think the Coliseum should be expanded, but I have a strong addendum to that.
Okay. Yeah.
If we're going to attract more venues, we're losing venues because they go to Abilene.
It's true.
They
Yeah.
go to Midland
Yes, sir. Mhm.
because they got bigger venues.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. We've got to fix that.
Okay. Yeah.
But the way to fix it is not to take tax dollars and give it to a private entity to run the Coliseum
Right.
on behalf of the city.
Yeah.
The second thing is, when the rodeo does come, and that's good. I love the rodeo.
Sure.
I'm not anti-rodeo.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't love the fare that comes with it.
Okay.
It's expensive. And this year was probably the lowest turnout. When I went out there and I
Yeah.
talked to people,
Same. Yeah.
it was the lowest turnout in the last 5 years.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay. And the reason for that is people don't have the money to spend
That's true.
to pay
Disposable
$40
income for that. Yeah.
$40 per band per person
Yeah.
And if you have a family of 5,
Forget about it. Yeah.
I mean, that's your paycheck for
Yeah.
some people. So what I entertain, I don't want to complain. I want to bring a solution.
Okay.
The solution is expand the Coliseum, but make it paid for by a venue tax. Put a venue tax on it, pay an extra $1 or $2 per seat.
Nice. Okay.
Not use the taxpayer
I like
money
that. Yeah.
to do it.
Okay.
Okay, it can be done.
Yeah.
And because everybody doesn't go to the Coliseum.
Right.
And I admire and support the stock show and rodeo folks. They do a great job, but it's not their fault. It's the city's fault.
Yes.
The city says, we'll pay you to run this for us. That's not the way to do it.
Right.
No, put a venue tax, expand the Coliseum. But at the same time, let's do, and that's what's happening with the McNeese Convention Center. They're expanding with a venue tax.
Okay. Yeah.
And so that burden is not on your
I
taxpayers.
like it. Yeah, it's a good solution. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. So, how about, if you are elected mayor, what kind of mayor will you be? Because one of Brenda Gunter's biggest criticisms is that she doesn't do a lot of interfacing with the public. She's not out answering questions. She doesn't come do interviews like this. It's hard to get a hold of her, that kind of deal. And so will you be approachable? Will you be responsive to the public? Can people walk up to you on the street or in a restaurant and say, hey, Gary, what do you think about this issue?
Well, didn't you invite me to come here?
I did.
Am I here?
You are.
Well,
I respect that.
That should tell you.
It should.
That if you ask me or invite me to come, I'll be there. If it's in my power. Now, if I'm sick or something, forget it.
Right.
But as long as I have the ability to do it, I will meet with groups of people. I kept saying during the candidate forums, 2 things I want to do, maybe 3. First thing to engage the people who live, work, and do business here.
Yes.
You've got to engage them. Get in their face.
Yes.
You don't wait for a city council meeting and maybe I don't know, 1% of the population shows up.
Right.
You've got to get out among the people, talk to them, listen to them.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay? If you don't listen, then what are we here for?
That's right.
You listen to them, and when they come up with bona fide issues, we bring those issues to the city council.
Okay.
And we place them on the agenda.
Yes.
And say, council, we need to consider this or that project or whatever. The second thing is we need to have a city council meeting at night, at least once a month.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that people doing the work during the day can come out
have the opportunity to make it. Yeah.
Now, other folks say, well, we got 12,000 hours of video on the city website. Yes, we do. Do you have time to watch 12,000 hours of video? Of course not. But if you spend a couple hours, come to the city council meeting, listen to what's on there.
Yes.
Or sign up to be a speaker so that you can now participate and get engaged.
We need more
I'm
of
an
that.
advocate for that.
I am too. That's good.
Then finally, the last suggestion I have is that we will, if I'm elected mayor, I'll go to every single member district once a month so that I can engage the people.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
And have our own little single member district town hall meeting.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay. We'll announce it, publicize it, so give people plenty of time to make plans to be there. So be there and talk to the mayor.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
I like that.
Let me get a rap going.
Let's do it. I like
You
it.
need to be there.
You
and
should
talk to the mayor. Okay.
Yeah, you should create that. That'd be good.
I like to have fun with stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
So, but I would go and talk to all of the different single member districts, listen to them, take notes, bring them back to the council. And if there's an issue that needs to be placed on the council agenda to vote on, then so be it.
Yeah.
We do it. The job of the mayor is to act as the chairman of the board, so to speak, and to guide the council if as much as possible. Use that mayoral influence to guide the council.
Right. Okay.
We can't browbeat people. We can't make people do anything.
Yeah.
We live, San Angelo is a council city manager form of government.
Sure. Yes,
The mayor
that's right.
doesn't control anything.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
The mayor uses influence.
That's right.
Okay.
In fact, the city manager has more operational power, right? Yeah.
The city manager is the top guy
Yeah.
when it comes to direct control and
Right.
of daily operations.
Yes, sir.
He designates department heads. They answer to him, and the employees answer to their department heads.
Right.
It's like the military. It's chain of command.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, the mayor can meet with the council and hold the city manager accountable for any actions and activities and directives.
Right.
The city manager gets his directives from the city council. That's where the mayor has influence.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, lastly, I would ask, so the Good Old Boy network or system, right? And you answered this in the forum, and it was hilarious. You know, we watched that clip earlier, but that's one of the biggest things that criticisms that Tom Thompson has, right? That he's in with the Good Old Boy network, and that he's not for the common man. And I got to be honest with you, and I don't care if this ruffles feathers. And I told you this, I tried to be as unbiased as I could, right, and allow all candidates to speak their piece and to give the information to the public so that they could be well informed and make the best decision that they thought, you know, worked for them. So you responded with a yes, and we did Trinidad, but Mr. Thompson didn't even take the time to acknowledge me. He didn't say yes or no, and I would appreciate just a polite, I decline, but nothing. He saw my message, nothing. I even reached out to Seth who did his website. I said, Seth, can you reach out to Tom and tell him I'm trying to get him on? And he said, okay. I reached out to him, but radio silence. So, I mean, the way I look at that is if he doesn't have time to reach out to me, what chance does the, just common person who doesn't have a show or anything have it getting a hold of him? So lastly, I would ask you to just address the audience one more time and tell them why you are better than Tom or Trinidad or any other candidate that wants to be mayor. Why are you the best?
Well, I'm not better than anybody, but I am the best candidate for mayor because, one, I keep saying this over and over again, and I mean it. I love God, and I love my community.
Yes.
And my job is to serve as the chief elected official with integrity, honesty, transparency, and compassion. And I think that's what's been missing. We don't have compassion for people or all people. I want to do something to help the homeless.
Yes.
I want to do something to help people that have fallen down in their whatever you want to call that they're in despair because they've fallen on bad luck, as they say. Well, what people don't know is I used to be homeless.
Did you really?
And so, not through no choice of my own, but yes, I was homeless.
I didn't know that. Wow.
For a brief period of time.
Yeah.
All right. And so all I can tell you, I understand the embarrassment, the humiliation, and the fact that people don't look upon you very well because you're out there and you have you just lost.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough. I had a job, so I was homeless, but I still had a job.
Yeah.
But I still remember the emotional impact of that.
Yes.
So I have a certain level of understanding and compassion for our homeless. Let's not just bulldoze them and shove them to another part of the city so you don't see them downtown or wherever. But let's put together what I'd like to see is a transition house.
Yes, transitional living.
Home that gives them time to get on their feet, to learn a trade or a skill. My wife has her Microsoft Master's certification in computers.
Cool.
She could teach them how to run the software, how to tear down and build up computers.
Sure.
I'm a television producer, and I can train people on television production.
Absolutely.
So we could give them some vocal training.
Yeah.
Something that they can put their hands on and use.
I like that. Yeah.
And then we can connect them with the resources that are out there for housing. Did you know, for example, the VA has a program right now to help veterans who are homeless get off the street and become homeowners?
Wow.
The VA
That's
has
amazing.
That.
Yeah.
The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has programs to help people become first-time home buyers or to get them into home ownership by having mortgage rates below the market
Wow.
rate.
Yeah.
So there are all kind of avenues
That's right.
that are out there
Yeah.
to help people. So as the mayor, I would be an advocate for the people who need the help the most. But at the same time, because it has to be a balance,
Yeah.
I would like to contact the venues, the owners of different venues.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Las Vegas. Now, I know I don't want San Angelo to be a Vegas,
Right.
but Vegas is in the middle of the desert,
Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing there. But guess what? Look at it's an entertainment capital
Yeah.
of the world. People
Mhm.
come from all over the world to go there. Why? Because somebody thought outside the box.
Right.
We can do the same thing here in San Angelo,
Yeah.
but it takes a coalition of people to
Right.
come together who are experts in different fields of expertise.
That's right. Yeah.
Housing, small business development, economic development, education,
Mm-hmm.
all of these different elements that we need to have to be a successful city.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get people who are smarter than you or have more experience
That's right.
than you. Get them in the room. Don't have an ego like, I can't listen to nobody. No.
Right.
Get those folks in the room and put their ideas on the table, because there are a lot of people that got great ideas.
Yes, absolutely.
And if we all work together, I believe San Angelo will become the city that I've had a vision about.
Very nice. Well, I think your vision's very clear. Your morals, values are laid out on the table, and I like a lot of what I'm hearing, and I'm sure a lot of San Angeloans do too. So thank you so much,
Hey, you're
Gary.
welcome, man.
This
Matt,
is Gary Jenkins. Thank
Hey.
you.
And thank you, Matt.
Yes,
for
sir.
letting me come on your show.
Absolutely. Get out there and vote, guys. Remember, election May 3rd, early voting has already started, but it's important that you get out there and vote, especially in a city election. It affects your life way more than the national level. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to Mr. Gary Jenkins for coming in and for giving us this interview. Very gracious of you. Remember, guys, get out there, place your vote. Your